What did you take away from them in the second half that they were able to execute the first half?
I think we did a better job shutting down penetration. I think in the first half, we let them get in the paint too much, and then they were finishing inside, getting to the free throw line from us fouling them, but they were also getting more kickouts off of our rotations in our defense. So I think in the second half, we definitely did a better job on penetration.
Go to Edward.
Edward Robinson, Raleigh News and Observer. This question is for Jasmine. You guys have talked about this a lot this year in terms of more assists, finding each other, second passes. Where are you on that kind of evolutionary path to getting where you want to be?
I think we're right on pace. I think in both halves of that game, offensively, I really do think we did a good job moving the ball and finding open players and getting it inside and out off the pass. I think we would like to see us get into the free throw line a little more, but I think from an assist standpoint, we are definitely moving the ball better.
Mike.
Mike Locke from the Independent. This is for Krystal. Coach McCallie mentioned that a big difference in the game was going to be due to size. How well did you all take advantage of that today?
We could have exploited it more, and I mean that by the post could have done a better job of posting and finishing inside the lane and getting rebounds. I mean, if you look down at the post rebounds, they aren't very impressive. So we could have done a better job from that perspective, but I thought overall the team did a good job of getting into the paint, and most everyone had a height advantage across the board, so I think everyone did a good job of exploiting that.
We're going to come down here in front first.
Big question from the Chronicle. This is for Krystal as well. In the first few minutes of the second half, you seem to be much more effective than in the first half entirely. Can you talk a little bit about the difference that coming out of halftime why you were so effective?
I just think that in the second half we came out with the mindset of focusing on defense. Our defense was very lax in the first half, and we allowed UT Martin to execute much more effectively than we wanted to. So the second half we made an emphasis to stop their penetration, to contest their three-point shots, as well as limiting them to one shot.
We're going to come down here to Rob, and then we're going to go back to Edward.
Rob Cloud, NCAA.com. Question for Haley. You described for what your first NCAA tournament game was like, and also talk about the last 6-7 minutes of the game when it was 5 freshmen on the floor for the first time in several months.
To me, it didn't really feel that different. I mean, we played in a great tournament a little more than a week ago, and like it just felt like it was a game. And I think something that changed at halftime is, well, for me, like I stepped up my intensity a little bit because it felt like this is the most important time of the year, so we need to be on top of our game. We can't just be messing around with teams. But at the end, when all 5 of us were in together, it was fun. Chelsea pointed it out first, and we always have fun when we're in together. And we like to play with each other, and we spend a lot of time together off the court. So I thought we did a nice job there at the end, and it was fun.
Go right here.
This is for Jasmine. With UTM's small guards, and they are quick, is it a little bit harder because they are so small to keep them in front of you?
It definitely was difficult. They had good quickness and they could handle the ball, and they kept you on your heels because they could either blow by you or pull up and hit a jumper. So they were definitely great guards, but I think we do have some experience in playing small, quick guards in our conference. So that's something that we've been working on all season, but I mean, you get a little better at it, but it's always hard and something you have to focus on.
We're going to take 3 more. Jerome, Mike, and then Edward.
This is for Krystal. On Monday night, you're going to face a couple bigger opponents or bigger inside players than you did tonight. Just looking ahead at that, what will you do? Kind of talk about a preview of that upcoming matchup.
We are very fortunate enough to have played amazing post players all season, so we'll be ready for whatever Marist has for us. We haven't looked at Marist yet, So we'll go back to the film room and kind of look at what their posts do well. But we'll be ready for whatever they throw at us. We've been faced with various kinds of posts throughout the season. And so we'll be ready for whatever happens on Monday night.
Back over here now.
Yeah, Mike Potter, the Independent again. This is for Haley. I think the first time the freshmen have been on the floor together since the Albany game. Is that correct? And I think what you all said at that time was, let's don't screw this up. How is your attitude and comfort level different from that point of the season now?
Coach B said this a couple times that really there aren't any freshmen. We're all sophomores now, and we've played one of the toughest schedules in the country, and that's made us sophomores. We played against a lot of teams, so there definitely is. It feels like a different. When the 5 of us are out there together, it feels different than it might have before. And we all play. All 11 of us play well together, and it's fun when the 5 of us are out there knowing that we're probably going to be here for 4 years together. And it's fun, and it feels more comfortable out there.
Last question from Edward.
This question is both for Jasmine and Krystal. This game seemed very businesslike, and you guys have been here before. What's the mentality? What's important going to the second round and looking to where you want to end up?
There's just a major emphasis on focusing on what's right in front of you. That's something Coach P has been preaching since tournament play started. Because if you look ahead, there won't be a look ahead to look at, because you have to take care of the game that's immediately in front of you. You know, this is one and done play, and so you have to really focus on doing the little things in the tournament, whether it's diving after loose balls, hustling after rebound. You know, it comes down to the little things in this tournament. So it's really just playing hard, playing together, and focusing on the details.
I think Krystal did a good job in covering that. I mean, I think it's important to just realize that it only gets harder. So every game you have to bring more energy, more focus, and just be ready for the competition to get better as you go on.
Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hoops.com. Coach, what did you say to the team at half? And you took a timeout with about 6-7 minutes left. You looked pretty agitated, and you're sort of talking to the team in a pretty emphatic way. What did you? And in fact, you even interrupted the fast break to call.
Yes, I did.
What did you tell the team at that point? And how do you think they responded to what you said?
Halftime was very aggressive. I would say I was furious, and the defense we were playing at that time was absolutely horrific relative to getting beat with one-on-one stops. I think Jasmine pretty much covered it. Them getting to the free throw line, helping off shooters, allowing 20 to hit that 3 in the right side, and just not sharp. I just didn't like anything about that first half, to be honest with you. And so I spoke about that. And then that timeout, I don't know exactly what really was part of that, but something that ticked me off. And I'm not at all concerned about our offense right now, but I sure as heck want our defense and rebounding to be up to par, because it's going to need to be. And I just didn't think it, in the first half, it wasn't in any way. Anyway.
Right here in the front.
Big question from the Chronicle. How good of a feeling for you as a coach that you can put 5 freshmen in and your lead not diminish, but even grow to 30 to 40?
They're really good. They're really good. I wanted to ask you all, historically, has there ever been 5 freshmen in an NCAA tournament playing at the same time on the women's side? I mean, I'd like you to find it if you can, because I'd like to know if they made history today.
I think Martin may have been.
But Martin, what I'm saying, in an NCAA tournament, they didn't have 5 freshmen on the floor. They had 8, but they didn't play them together. So I was curious if you would look that up, because I think our players are really good. I think our freshmen are sophomores. I think they're much more aggressive. I think there's no comparison to where, I don't know, when did we play Albany? Was that December? Yeah, I don't think there's any comparison to December basketball where we were then to where we are now. I don't think it's a very different thing now. And they really are motivating, and you understand that Trisha Liston was playing the 4, having never practiced it. That's what's unique about these guys, these women, these 5 women. She played the 4.
Jerome?
Heading into Monday, are there any aspects of the game, your all's game, that concern you that you
Yes.
Want to improve by Monday?
Yes. One-on-one stops. I'm not a big fan of help. I know the value of help side, but just tremendous pride in our one-on-one stops and tremendous pride in our shot contesting, especially the 3-ball. These are teams all in this tournament that have 4 people and sometimes 5 shooting 3-point shots and spreading the floor so much. And I think that we have the ability to play great man-to-man defense. We played it mostly today, about 65%. And I would like to see us, again, our sort of ball pressure, our one-on-one stops, our physical abilities to really come out. Now, when we play our matchups, I want to see that too. I did see that more a little bit. We played one of our matchups today, and it was a little bit better. But the whole physical nature of the game, the dominance rebounding, the getting to the free throw line, being strong with the ball, there's a certain edginess that I'd like to see that I think is very important in this time of year.
We're going to come over here to Jim.
Jim Sumner, Duke basketball board. Coach, you were having, there's some unusual lineup combinations today. One time you had Chloe in with 4 forwards. A lot of the second half you didn't have either Allie or Krystal on
Right.
each shooter. Are you still experimenting, still trying to find new combinations that work?
I'm just going with 11 players that I completely believe in. You know, there's no doghouse. They can all play. And I think sometimes it is different combinations. I thought Haley and Kathleen played beautifully together. They fed off each other. They're very quick in their cutting and looking for the basketball and also defending. So I think that sometimes, and I thought Allie did some good things too, and of course Krystal did as well, but I think sometimes you just gotta, we have a special, we talk about going 11 for 11. And what that means is everybody being ready to give what they can give. And I believe in it. So I guess you could say I'm always looking for new things, because that would be true. But at the same sense, I'm always believing that our bench, the stat of 43 points to 15, we want that. We want that stat. We want an imposing bench. We want people to be concerned about us. We want people to wear down, and wonder if they can play against us for 40 minutes. We want to create that environment, and it's really hard to do.
Aaron.
Aaron Beard with AP. You sound like you're not really pleased, I guess, like what you said about the first half defensively, and then you got their attention at half, and they played better in the second half. But are you concerned that this is a one-time thing, you're going to have to give their attention again, or do you think you maybe got it now?
That's a good question. I don't think a coach ever knows, but you're willing to do whatever it takes to get them focused. I think that there was a lack of sharpness, and I think that in the first half, I don't attribute that to anything, but just, being out there. It hadn't been a couple weeks since we played, and sometimes you gotta, get your feet right and understand. And I definitely felt a complete refocus at halftime to what we do.
Mike.
Mike Potter with the Independent. I know there's some things about the game you don't like today, but what were the positives to you? And are you concerned at all that they don't play exactly the way you want, but they beat a pretty good team by 45 points and then could get big heads out of that?
No, I think that our team understands very clearly. We watched more film, in December, January, and this is one of those things where I've had to show them less and less film. They believe it more. Like they already understand they played 20 minutes. They got that very clear. They played a great 20 minutes of basketball, and they know it. And they know that that's not what it's about, going beyond, going to the higher level. So I feel that they'll be motivated to do better, to play better, and to come out of the blocks better next game. I feel that in them as a group. That's how they operate. As you saw up here, there's terrific leadership. Jasmine is on it. Jasmine's already thinking it. When I'm saying it, she's already thinking it. And so that carries over well, Krystal and Karima also. So, and Haley, our young players lead pretty well also. So I think they'll be hungry. I think they'll be ready. And I think I forgot the second part of your question. Did you guys?
Just about having a big head.
Oh, okay. No, I think we'll handle that.
We'll take two more, Tom and then the front
Coach, as a follow-up to what you were talking about, wanting to play man-to-man defense, Coach McMillan said that when you went to the zone defense, that was when he didn't have an answer.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Because it's hard to do both. I think one of the things that these women should be applauded for is that we are the most multiple defensive team in the country, without question. And I think that that's part of the fun, is being able to mix and match what you do. Most people are more prepared for man-to-man, and they run their sets and they play against man-to-man more. So if you can really attack people, I guess, with different weapons, I think you can be more successful. And I know that our team has a great deal of confidence in our matchups, and I know they have a great deal of confidence in the man too. And I think what you saw was the best of both worlds in the second half. In the first half, I didn't make any changes. I was too mad to. In the first half, I was so mad about how we were playing, I wasn't going to make a change. Just let deal with it. Let's go. I mean, sometimes you can overcoach this game, and that was a point to get onto them. Like, the reality was we weren't doing what we should be doing.
right down here in front.
Coach Daniel of the Chronicle, something you've talked about all year, assists and rebounds. Seems like every press conference, that's what you stress in a win or a loss.
Yeah.
Going into the next game, after a day like today where you've had a ton of assists and pretty good rebound margin. What do you
only
think?
8 rebound margin.
Okay, so
Ooh, no.
could you talk about it a little bit then? What do you?
Well, I
what are
mean,
your
25
concerns?
assists is a season high, and 8 turnovers is a season low. Lindy told me that. But 38 rebounds to 30 rebounds, that's nasty. That's not appropriate, or not for the level you're trying to aspire to. So to answer your question, yeah, there's going to be a lot said about that. Rebounds, offensive rebounds, and I know we shot a good percentage, so there weren't as many offensive rebounds, but still, you can come up with more than 14. So offensive rebounds, get to the ball more quickly defensively, and get to the free throw line offensively. I mean, you can't get to the free throw line 14 times in a game and expect to be very good. I mean, that number is supposed to be 25. So there's a lot we need to do. We need to attack more, and again, this is all regardless of who you play. I mean, it's not because of the opponent, it's because of we better get to the free throw line more aggressively and get more rebounds, and then hopefully the consistency with assists. Maybe we can get, more assists. That'd be great. But trying to get it all to fire off at once is the hard part.
All right, we're going to take our last question from Edward.
Coach, do you think this team has developed the toughness needed to move forward in this tournament, what you've been asking for a couple of years? Is this team, can I talk about this team's makeup?
Yeah, I think it's been a steady progress, steady growth thing in terms of toughness and like that edginess we talked about. I thought in the ACC tournament that we got really edgy in that tournament. That was extremely physical. I think the best game of the tournament was us against Georgia Tech. I put that as the best game of any in the tournament because of the nature of the way that game was played. It was so physical, but yet there were some great attacks and shooting and different things. And the physical nature. So I do think this has been coming along. I would say our edginess is growing. I think we'd like to play a lot better basketball just because we're excited to. You just want to play better. But I definitely think we're tougher, and I think everyone's taken part in that. Now again, first half of this game, no, I thought we kind of, I don't know what that was, but it was not edgy. Okay, it was the opposite of edgy. But in the second half, I thought we were very edgy and aggressive and did some things that were important for us.